Alright, morning everyone. It's another nice day actually. We've had a good run. It'd be struggling to hit 20, I'd say. Yeah, there you go. 19, perfect. It's like lunchtime as well. So yeah, really good. Nice day, finally. Update wise, nothing much going on. Nothing's really changed. I've had a good look at this scooter. I think I found the problem. I think I told you. I was having trouble keeping it straight. It was just constantly fighting offline. Turning no dramas. It's just, it would not stay straight. Like you try and stay straight and it'd drift right, and then you correct it left, and then it would go left, and then you correct it right, and it was just constantly just weaving everywhere. I found out this little bolt in here, back here, that was loose. So when you've got tension on it, she's tight, but obviously when it's in the straight ahead position, then it's loose, and I think that's what it was, just hunting around in that center position. I've cleaned it all out. I've got a heap of dirt out of it, up here in the bearing and down here. Sprayed it all out, and then I've been dripping a bit of this Corrosion X for guns. I don't know why I got that, but anyway. That's the only thing I've got with a nice little long nozzle like that I can feed it in. That works pretty well. I suppose you could get a syringe and suck up some oil and then shoot it in. But yeah, seems to be going all good. Anyway, that's not what today's video is about. Not finally, but been thinking about it over the past couple of weeks. Got the Flip. So I used to have a Mini 2. Camera was pretty not that great on it. It was okay, but it just wasn't that good. It was 4K and all that kind of stuff. It was like a current, it's not like it was 1080 or 2K limited or whatever, but yeah. Apparently this has got the same camera as the Mini 4, which is what's currently out now. Probably double the price to get a Mini 4. Obviously I didn't get the Fly More combo either. I did, this thing lasts 31 minutes, they reckon, battery life. I get bored after 20, so I don't need more batteries. Plus, my thinking is, if I'm taking this with me, I'll probably have my I've also got a Neo, DJI Neo. You would have seen the footage that comes out of that on previous video. That should come out before this video, I'd say. The camera on that is not really usable for what I'm doing here. It's okay. You'll see the footage anyway. It's not bad. It doesn't hover very. It's only tiny. It's like 135 grams. If you haven't seen a Neo, it's literally palm size. It doesn't weigh a lot, so it doesn't take a lot of wind to knock it round. I've tried filming out here, kind of using it as a tripod mounted camera, but it's obviously floating. Makes a lot of noise as well. It's quite loud. Apparently this is quieter because the props are bigger. And also, another reason I got this is this controller can be used with the Neo. This RC2, I think it is. I think it says somewhere. It doesn't say what model it is, but yeah, whatever model this controller is, apparently you can use it with the Neo. I don't know if I'd use it. I prefer the motion controller with the Neo. So the Neo, the way I look at it, is more of an FPV, flying in between trees and under tables and stuff like that. This will be more used for I could use it if we go somewhere, I can bring both of these cameras, use that, get some nice shots. So yeah, that's the main reason for that. Also, the missus has been handing me to get some photos that we can blow up and get printed on canvas to hang around the house. I've done it before. I'll show you some pictures of the ones I've done before. I'll slip them in now. I'll take them with my phone though, because of the picture camera on my phone is really good, but the video camera, it's an S25. It's not an Ultra or anything, but the video is just really bad. I used it when we went to the RC model planes. I didn't bring this camera. I should have done. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. I thought it would be better, but yeah. So I'll take some pictures. I'll slip them in here anyway. I've got two. There's one like a top down of some boats at Hillary's Boat Harbour, and then another one of some canola fields that we drove for a while, and found this really nice spot, pulled over, had the drone on me, and took some photos. We got them blown up. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that with this, is to get a few more nice photos around the traps here, and yeah, blow them up and get some nice photos. Yeah, let's open her up, get her on charge. Like I said, I've only got the very basic. This is like, I think it was like $7. I got a bit of a discount. I just asked him and he took $30 off it, so it was $6.99. It's the most basic version, so it's got the controller with no screen, so you can get the RCN2 controller, which has a screen on it, and then you can get the model that has either this controller or the other controller, but with another 2 batteries, a charging hub, probably extra propellers, comes in a carry bag, all that gear. They're all around the $1,000 mark, and I didn't want to spend that much. All my other drones, I've always bought the Fly More combo, and I always never end up using 3 batteries. And they only lasted like 20-25 minute flight time. This thing goes for half an hour on one battery. I don't need an hour and a half of flight time. It's just not necessary. If I want to buy an extra battery, AliExpress, I got them for $70 at the moment. So I'm going to jump on AliExpress today. I'll slip it in this video. Here they are. Been by themselves all morning. It's bath day for them as well today. Dex, you've been a good boy, mate. Doesn't look like it. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I'm gonna jump on AliExpress. I definitely want a set of ND filters because they make a massive difference. The Neo is like a different. You wouldn't recognise the footage out of the Neo with and without, with and then without. So if I was to show you without and then the same footage with an ND filter, it's day and night difference. It puts really nice motion blur in depending on what level ND filter you put on. The ND, I like the motion blur, especially when you're flying really low. It really makes it look nice. Daylight today, we've just caught Dexter in the middle of his business there, but daylight today, it's not going to make a difference. But when you got a nice blue sky, the ND filters make the sky ultra blue, like almost as dark as the toolbox is there. It really, without them, the sky just looks white and washed out, but with them, it makes a big difference. So definitely want to get a set of ND filters. I'm not fussed on circular, polarized and all that stuff. To me, I think the ND filters make the biggest difference. This looks like it's had a drop. Hopefully that hasn't affected anything. I don't think so. They're packaged very well. So yeah, if you did watch my last video when we went out with the Neo to that, geez, very light, to the Bells Rapids, my mate, I told you, crashed his Avata 2 into the bridge, quite high speed as well. He didn't have, I thought he had Care Refresh, but he doesn't. He said he was sending it to DJI, and I just assumed that he had Care Refresh, but he didn't have Care Refresh, which means he wouldn't have had to pay anything, whether it's your fault or not. But like I said, he doesn't. So they've looked at it. They've looked at the drone. They're putting a brand new camera and a brand new gimbal on it for him, and $200, and that includes them shipping the drone back to him. So I thought that was pretty good. So I've got Care Refresh on my Neo, but I'm not going to get it on this one. The only reason is I'm not going to be flying this anywhere near things. This is not a drone that it's not an FPV drone that you're going to be flying under picnic tables and things like that. So yeah, there's just no need for it. So this doesn't even, okay, right, okay. I thought it came with a charging hub, but it doesn't. Or you must just charge it in the drone. So that's okay. So that's on. So let's just, I assume, would be nice if the batteries had a USB and you could just charge them like that and not have to use the drone to charge them. But anyway, so that's how big it is. It's way bigger than the Neo. I should go and get my Neo actually, so you can compare the size. But the Neo would be like half the size of that. That's quite big. The Neo literally yeah, it'd be kind of that size, I'd say, a little bit longer like that. But all good. Comes with spare props. That I think is for Apple. I think that's an Apple cord, so I'll keep that in there. Unless, oh, okay. So there is another cable just here, already on it, and that's the cable I'd use, just USB-C for your phone. Cool. Okay. We don't need any of, so that's if you get caught out. So I'll probably end up, I might just keep this box. I'll take that inner liner out. You're just going to get confused. That way I'm just left with an empty box, and I'm just going to keep all the bits and pieces. You really don't need instructions for DJI stuff. I've had a lot of DJI things before, so I kind of know what to expect and how to set them up, but they are, even if you haven't, they're so easy. That's a good little thing. So what I'm going to end up doing, because those bags that come with the DJI Fly More combo, I hate them. Everything just ends up on top of everything, and you try and find something, and you've got to take the whole thing apart. I should just shut up and put this on charge. Here we go. Get that charging. Might as well get this charging as well. I'll just need it. I can charge it off that same thing, but I need a different cable. Yeah, here we go. That's got two batteries. So yeah, anyway, it's got 2 batteries, so half full. I don't know. Has this got lights on it to tell you? Oh, that's your. How does that come off? Oh, there we go. I just saw a green light. There we go. So that same thing, half power there. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to buy from AliExpress just yet. Oh, geez, okay. They're really double wrapped. Okay, so it's got a silicone case and then a hard case. Apparently it's got LiDAR in it. That's how it knows if it's going to hit something. So that's pretty cool. There we go. We'll plug this in. This video, I'll do first flight, all that kind of stuff, setting it up on the app. There won't be a lot to do. They're pretty set up. There's a few little settings that I like to change. If you've never mucked around with DJI stuff before, it seems it is expensive. It seems expensive, but it's well worth the money. They fly themselves if you get in trouble. Nothing breaks. The app is pretty much always good. Value, they're expensive, but value for money. That's, if I can kind of put it that way, if that makes sense. Value for money doesn't always mean cheap, but yeah, they are very good. So my Mini 2 had a similar controller. I thought it was the same, but it's not. It had buttons on the back here. This one doesn't, so it's a little bit more simpler. Yeah, and definitely, I think it's got a smaller battery because, yeah, anyway, the other one I had lasted for ages. So we'll just leave all this charging. There's nothing really I can do. Same with these. They can go in there for now. If I get my phone, we can probably set this up while it's charging, I think. Let's try that. And you'll see how easy it is. So yeah, DJI Fly app is a little bit difficult to install on Android because it's not in the Play Store. So you have to download the APK file from DJI, and even then it says all this security stuff, and there's like a hidden button, and you have to find that hidden button, install anyway, and it'll go on. So you can put it on almost any phone, really. So yeah, you open that up. I always turn the controller on. I don't think it matters with DJI. Okay. There it goes. DJI's got a funny way of turning it on. It's not just press and hold. It's you got to press and then off and then press and hold. So it's a safety thing. I understand why they do it. It's just so that you don't bump the thing and it turns on by itself. So everything's on. I've not read any instructions on this, by the way. I've watched a couple videos, but not on connecting it. I'm pretty sure that's on. Connection guide. DJI Flip. DJI Flip. Connect with RC only. Yeah, press power. Connect mobile device to remote control using the RC cable. Okay. So we'll use this. Oh, no. We have to use the cable that came with it. So there and there. And this, oh, hang on. Okay, you got to use this one. It's got to go in through this one. There you go. So as long as you look at the picture and read the instructions, you'll be right. And I didn't do either. So yeah, you got to do it like that. So now this will charge your phone as well, which is good. So now that's already skipped through to the thing. So remove the gimbal protector, slide the battery in, alternatively press, unfold the front and rear. So this turns on by itself when you unfold them. I've already unfolded it. So press and hold. And then the motors just tingle a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so don't use that one. And now it's up. See when you do it properly. So we'll put that back in there. So what it's going to want to do is a update. Agree. I think this is where it asks you about care refresh as well for the first connection, which I said I'm not going to get, so I'm going to can that. So it's activated. It does everything by itself. DJI care refresh, purchase now. Skip. You've got 14 days or 12 days or something. New firmware update. It may not work in this shed. I may have to go outside, so we'll see. This shed's a bit of a Faraday cage for internet. Seems to be working though. So I'll cut the video and I'll come back through when it's 100%. Okay, we're done. So it did three things. It did an update on the drone, whatever firmware's on that firmware on the drone, I suppose. It updated that. It updated the firmware on this, and it also updated the FlySafe data. So all that is so when you turn it on, geographically, obviously the thing knows where it is because it's got, I don't know how many GPS things in it. So it knows exactly where it is. And pretty much if you're near a prison or an airport, it won't let you take off. So it wants to update that quite regularly, actually. I don't know why, because we don't get new prisons and airports very, very often. But either way, you can't get in trouble with this thing pretty much. There are ways around it by putting aluminium foil over that so the GPS doesn't get a signal. But then you have to be pretty good at flying it because you're flying it with no GPS. So the thing doesn't know which way up and down is really. I think it's got an IMU, but it won't have GPS. So it may still fly not bad, but it won't be able to hover in one spot because it doesn't know where it is. But I don't know why you would do that anyway. Stupid. But anyway. So that's updated. It's all done, pretty much. Just gotta wait for it to charge up now. So we'll go fly. Go through a few of the settings. I'll put it back on charge. It didn't like being on charge and updating that database at the same time for some reason. I think it actually turns off when you put the charger on. Oh no, it can't do because it's still got a picture there. So anyway. So settings wise, they're all very similar. Obviously, if this has a function that the Neo doesn't have, then that setting is going to be on here, and I would never have seen it because the Neo doesn't do what this does. But most of the stuff is pretty similar. So it's got obstacle avoidance. This has got LiDAR sensors on the front, and the Neo doesn't. The Neo just uses its camera to avoid things. So I'm going to pause while I'm reading things a little bit, but I think we'll just leave that. So it'll break when it gets close to a tree. Display the radar map, that's cool to see. This is an important one. Auto return to home, RTH altitude. So it's at 100 meters. I'll always set it to 120. So 120 is our max flight distance that we can fly in Australia. I think Australia, yeah. I always set that to the maximum. The reason is, so if for whatever reason, I've never had it before, but this loses contact with that, or the battery's going flat. What other situations would do it? Yeah, it's either if the battery's going flat or you lose connection. So if this goes flat and you didn't realize, or you press return to home. So 3 things are going to activate this. So what it'll do, it'll stop where it is. It'll go up to 120 meters because I've set it to 120 meters. It'll go straight up to that height, 120 meters above from where you took off from. So it doesn't know ground level. All it knows is where it took off from. So if you take off from the top of a hill and then the hill drops off, it'll still be 120 meters from where it dropped off, not 120 meters from where you flew down and that kind of gear. So it'll go up 120, it'll fly directly above where it took off, so it'll fly back to you from where it took off from and then come straight back down. The reason I like to set that at 120 is if you're flying amongst houses, buildings or trees or anything high, very rarely you're going to get something at 120 meters. Being that this has a LiDAR, you could probably set that to like a lot lower, like 40 meters if you wanted to, and it'll just fly around things until it gets back to you and lands back at home. But safety, I'll just leave it at 120. If I had care refresh, I'd put that at 40. I don't have care refresh, so it stays at 120. Update home point. That's for when it's flying. AR settings. I don't even know what that is. I think that's active radar. Like I said, I've never had a drone with LiDAR on it. Max altitude, 120 meters. So you just leave it at that. Yeah. That's only a legal thing. We're only allowed to go 120 meters here. So you put that there, it won't go any higher. So max distance, no limit. You can, so if you're, wow, okay, 8 kilometers, 8,000 meters is max distance. If you're teaching someone to fly, I always bump that back down to even 100 meters. But no, I'm not interested in that. I'll just leave it no limit. So yeah, really, legally in Australia, you cannot fly more than what you can see the drone. You have to remain visual line of sight at all times. So obviously, you won't see this thing a kilometre away, let alone 8 kilometres away. But I never fly that much anyway, so we'll just leave that. Compass and IMU calibration, I'll only calibrate it if it tells me to calibrate it, and the thing will tell you to calibrate it. It'll say, normally if you have a big crash, it'll want to recalibrate. Unfold arm to power on, that's a good idea, I think. Obviously I haven't used it yet, so I won't know. So when you fold it up, the thing turns off. When you unfold it, the thing turns on. You don't have to press that stupid on button. Oh, okay, so yeah, okay, unfold arm to power on and fold arm to power off. So you can have both or only one if you want to, so that's pretty cool. Unlock geo zones. I'm not going to get into that. I kind of know what that is, but that's kind of like if you live at an airport and the airport, you're in control of the airport, or the airport is not used anymore, you can request to unlock that geo zone, because obviously it's going to be locked because it's an airport. But you can put your case forward to DJI to say, can I please fly my drone here, because yeah, we don't use it. Here you go. So if it's signal lost, it'll return to home. You don't want it to descend and you don't want it to hover, because if you're flying over water and you lose signal, it'll just descend into water. And same thing, if you're flying over water and you lose signal and just tell it to hover, obviously you can't get there because it's over water. So eventually the battery will go flat and then probably return to home. There might be a different setting for that. No, there isn't. So yeah, the best is just return to home. It's the safest because that way it's always coming back. Keep it in metric. Gain and expo. There's something I will play with, but not until I've flown it, because I don't know. It's not something I can adjust before you fly it. If it's too sensitive, that's all it is the sensitivities make them faster or slower. Gimbal calibration, same thing. It'll tell you when it needs it. Stick mode. I'm mode 1. Oops, probably didn't have to do that. Oh, is that it? No. So then you got a function button. So one press will just go straight 90 degrees down on the gimbal. It'll look straight down and then straight back up. You can change that for other things. I like it like that because I'm used to that with my other drone. And then if you double press it, you've got all these different things. I'd probably leave it off at the moment. RC calibration, anything to do with calibration, it'll tell you when it needs it. So I don't do it until it tells you. These are all preferential. Obviously, you're going to take. So it'll take a JPEG picture, which is a compressed file. They're fine for doing pretty much 99%, unless you really want to edit the photo later. So a JPEG picture might be 4K, might be about 4 megabytes. If you take a RAW, that RAW is probably it's uncompressed, so it's like 15 or 20 megabytes. So you got a lot more data in there. The only thing is, it won't be. It'll be like a dull picture. So you have to edit every photo. So I'm not going to do that. The only time I will take a RAW photo is when I want to take these photos that my missus wants to blow up and hang on the wall. I'll switch it to JPEG and RAW. So that way you've got a backup. So if you take the photo and you get the RAW photo out and you can't really edit it that good, you've still got the JPEG there to lean back on of exactly the same picture. And obviously the more you blow it up, because it's compressed, it's going to look a bit funny, but the RAW you can really blow up and it'll look quite nice. And the resolution, 12 or 48, just put on 48. To record audio for aerial videos, so obviously I'm going to leave that on because the videos that we do. Noise reduction, just leave it on natural. So apparently it cuts out the prop noise, so you can use this as a flying camera right next to you and you can't even hear the propellers. Anti-flicker auto, histogram, I'll probably leave off. I'll leave it on for now. So the histogram's this little thing on the side here that just popped up. I think you want the peak in the middle. You don't want the peaks on the ends, because the one end is shadow, one end is highlight, and you don't want any of them peeking out. You want the middle to be peeking out. So, there you go, peaking. You can change. That's pretty cool. I'll leave it on low. I don't know what that means. Overexposure warning is pretty good. So when you'll see it on a day like today, cloudy day. If you're overexposed, it'll go into zebra stripes. So pretty much if you see those zebra stripes, whatever's in those zebra stripes is unrecoverable. In any editing software, it means it's just blown out to white light and you'll never get it back. So if anything, you want to be underexposed, not overexposed. So we'll definitely keep them on. Grid lines I don't like, I don't need them. Frame guide, I don't know. White balance I'll leave on manual, and I will, let me just stop this camera for a minute. Okay, this camera's set to 6,000 kelvins, so I will set this to 6,000 kelvins. So you'll see the difference there. So I'm bumping up to 9,900 and it's very orange, and then the more you put it down this way, it's like a bluer. So I'll set this to 6,000 fixed, and that way, whether I'm shooting with this camera or that camera, it's all the same. Okay, so it does have, it's got 1.9 gig of internal storage, which is not going to get you far. It'll let you take a few photos and a little bit of video, but not a lot. But I've got a 128 gig card inside. I forgot to bring it out, but it says no card. I haven't put it in yet. That's fine for all your naming. Yeah, I don't know. Cache, just leave that. Transmission, don't touch. You really don't. Oh, okay, so you can live stream from here. That's pretty cool. I'm never going to do that. Yeah, this is just telling you about how this talks to that. And then about is the only thing really useful here is check for updates. There shouldn't be an update because I've just done them. But yeah, the only no firmware update available. Oh, okay, there is new firmware. There we go. So we'll do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so yeah, so if I go check for updates again, it should say nah. Yep, okay, and then there was another one to here. Fly safe data, check for update. We'll try that. Your firmware is up to date. That's it. That's it. So really, that's all your settings that you have to muck around with. The only other settings there are now are in. So So this square here is you're in picture mode. So we're only taking single. You can do bracketed photos. So I think you can choose. Yeah, 3 or 5. Oh, this does 7, righto. So it'll take 7 photos instantly, pretty much. Combine them to make one photo, and what it takes like from like a -7 exposure all the way through to a +7 exposure. That way, if you got any shadows or highlights, it kind of combines them and gets the best photo. So pretty cool. That's not bad. I've only ever had my old drones take 3 or 5 photos. This is doing 7, so I'll leave it on 7. That's pretty cool. And then, so if you put it back on single, okay, and burst, time shot, yeah, pretty cool. And then you change it to video, and then you can do slow motion, normal, that kind of gear. So video normal for me, that's what I'm going to leave it on. I don't know what master shots. Oh, master shots is so you can, I think so you can, say you got a statue somewhere, you can drag, while the thing has to be flying and looking at the statue, you put a box around it and it'll fly an orbit around that and always keep that in the center. I've never really mucked around with them on my other shots. Same with quick shots. The good thing about this drone is you don't even need the controller or your phone to fly it if you don't want to. It has things built in here, quick shots, which is what's there. So if you want it to follow you while you're flying your bike, you can just bring this with you, follow, and then off you go, and the thing just follows. You put your hand out, it comes back to land it with you and all that. But hyperlapse and a pano. So the pano would be very good for doing these posters that my missus wants as well. Only because rather than getting a 48 megapixel photo and then blowing it up, you can take multiple and then it'll stitch it together, and then you end up with like a 200 or 300 megapixel photo of the same thing. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, as soon as we're on normal and video, and then if you switch back over to photo, probably just for now we'll do some single photos, and that's it. So you just keep it in those two modes, and then this. Oh, okay. Is that the record button? No, record button's at the back there. Yeah, okay. So that's taking pictures. Right. Okay. So that goes. It switches from photo to video mode, and then that is your shutter button at the back there. So we're in video mode at the moment, so we'll keep it in picture. And then if you want to go any more in depth, did that again. So we'll put it back to photo mode. I don't really muck around with, so we just keep it in JPEG. Oh, okay, so down the bottom here, it's in auto mode. Yeah, if you're really keen on photography, you'll know more, but I normally keep it in auto mode. I find I get the better photos out of it like that. But if you're really keen, you can muck around with your white balance. Here, your shutter. So your ISO, your shutter, your exposure value, all that kind of gear. I don't play with it. I find DJI kind of know what they're doing, and I leave it at that. The only thing I do muck around with, I think you can actually change it when it's in auto, is your EV. Sometimes you'll think that it's picked 0, but you go, oh, it's a little bit too bright, so you just knock it down to -0.3, and then you can adjust it later in post in a program. So yeah, that's about the only thing I muck about with. So yeah, I think that is all the settings. The only things on this side are your takeoff. And what's this button do? Oh, that's focus track. Okay, so that's the thing that will focus on something, then follow it, or spin around it, or do whatever. Up here, aircraft connected to USB, so it knows that it's charging at the moment. But it may not be charging because the thing's on and the lights aren't flashing. So yeah, anyway. N mode is normal mode. Flick it over to S, it's in S, which is sport mode. So it'll go a bit faster, but it'll be a bit jerkier. So you're not really, it's only just to get from one place to another quickly. And then C mode is cine mode, which is very slow speed inputs, very smooth motion, things like that. We'll just keep it in normal for now, but that's an easy thing to switch over in flight. And then you got your return to home and pause return to home. Yeah, sometimes, so say you took off from a road and then there's a heap of cars coming and it's coming back, you can pause it and then wait for the cars to go and then unpause it and then it'll land by itself. I pretty much never land the thing. I just hit that, press and hold, I think it is, I can't remember. And you can put this down on the floor and the thing will just come back and land to, you know, bang on within a coin spot of where it took off from. I think it actually takes photos. It's got those sensors under there, but I think one of them's a camera. And then as it takes off, it takes a photo. And then when it comes back to land, it gets that photo that it took off when it took off and matches it up. So it gets, you know, right back on the spot. And the only other things are 21. It says at 21 up the top. I hope you can see that. It might be a bit small. 21 is your battery percentage of the drone. Flight time, obviously we haven't taken off, so at 21% battery, if I took off now, it'll probably say it's got 5 minutes of flight time, something like that. RC with the signal bars, so that's the signal between this and that. I think that other thing's the radar, I'm not sure, and then you've got satellites, and I've got 0 currently at the moment. Yeah, and then you got a map here. It's pretty much Google Maps. So I don't know why you would use that. I'm not sure. I mean, it's if you have flown this way too far away and you can't even see it and you don't really know where it is, you can flick to this map screen and kind of navigate your way back. But you would just press, at that point, you just go return to home and the thing will come back by itself anyway. So I don't know what that's for. Yeah. So it's, and down here storage 71, so I can actually fit 71 on the 2 gig, 1.9 gig internal storage, 71 photos. And if I was to flick that over to video mode, it would store all of 2 minutes and 37 seconds of video. So we'll do 4K 30 frames per second. If I was to put that in pro mode, again, you've got all those same kind of, and it shoots in D-Log-M, so that's pretty much the raw. So a raw photo, or if you're doing video, it's called D-Log. So it'll shoot in a very flat color profile, and then it's up to you to boost it later in post-processing. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, and there's no SD card, like I said. So that, yeah, that's about the only options you've got. So yeah, it would be good if these were accessible from this main screen, but they're not. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, this thing is losing power even though it's plugged in. So obviously when it's plugged in and turned on, it's not charging. So I will turn everything off. We'll let it charge. We'll go on the computer now and go and see what AliExpress has got to offer. And we'll put an order in for some. I definitely want a case. I hate those bags. That's one reason, or one of the reasons I don't get the Fly More combo, because I can't stand those bags. I'd rather just save the money on the Fly More combo and buy like a case that has cutouts for everything to fit perfectly in. I'd much rather do that than have that bag that everything's just on top of everything and you can never find anything, and I hate those things. So yeah, we'll jump on the computer now, and I'll just put some screenshots in of what I end up buying, and then by that stage this thing should be charged up, and we'll come back and have a fly, go to the park across the road and have a quick fly. So yeah, we'll see them. Alright, so I ended up buying a few things. I originally got 2 things, now I've ended up with 4. So I put it on charge. It took well over an hour to charge up, and that was from 20% battery. So yeah, originally I wasn't going to buy another battery or charger, but I thought it actually came with a charging hub, so that you could put this battery into the charging hub and it'll charge up fairly quickly. But the battery has to be in the drone to charge up through the port here, and it takes well over an hour. So that's probably not ideal, because I thought I'd get away with one battery, so that if you fly somewhere and then charge it up and then go somewhere else and fly it. But if it takes over an hour, it's just not correct. So ended up getting another battery. Should be here this week, and got not an original. So it's an original battery, but not original charging hub. The original charging hub, the batteries stand up. Not a fan of that. So I got one that the batteries lay down. It just stores easier, I reckon, bit better. So you'll see a picture of that charging hub and the battery. Well, the battery's the same as that. I won't put a picture of that, but you'll see the charging hub that I'm talking about. Then I bought ND filters. They make a big difference to your footage, definitely. I got a set with a MUV. I don't know what that is. I suppose it's UV, circular polarized, which I don't really use the CPLs and the MUVs. It's more the NDs. I got ND 8, 16, 32, 64. It's a standard set that pretty much gets you in every condition. Day like today with a lot of cloud and no direct sun, you'd probably only use the 16. If it was cloudy but in and out of sun, you'd probably put the 32. And if it's just complete sun and you're at the beach with like really high contrasting sand and grass, and whack the 64 on. And what else was there? Oh, a case. I bought a nice case for it. So there's lots of different types of cases. You got to watch that you get the one for this controller as well, not the controller with the screen. So yeah, made sure I got the right controller. And then also, I didn't want, because I'm only ever going to have the 2 batteries, I didn't want a case that stores like 6 batteries, because a lot of them do, or 4 batteries, plus the one that's in the drone. There's just no need for it. So I got one that only has a spot for the drone, folded up like that to lay in, a spot for the controller, and I think that was it, or it might have had a spot for a battery. I can't remember now. Yeah, I think it had a spot for a battery, but then the charger will go in the lid behind the mesh, the zipped mesh thing. So all good. So yeah, first thing, I don't have UV filters yet, so there's no UV filter to check. Just make sure you don't have fingerprints on your lens. And then we'll turn this on. So on hold, and then you'll hear that noise. Start up the app. Oh, and connect it like I forgot last time. No, don't want to do a questionnaire. And you've got 48 hours to register the drone. You got 48 hours from connecting it to the app to purchase Care Refresh. I thought it was 2 weeks or 12 days. It's 48 hours. So you got to make your mind up pretty quickly. So it's off at the moment. So just unfold the fronts, unfold the backs, and that should turn on. There it goes. And we'll just put it here. Got screen already, and you can see there, that's the zebra stripes I was talking about in the clouds. So that's what a ND filter will fix. So from memory, we got no sats. So it says take off with caution, no satellites. So we'll just let it. Because the last time this thing probably got turned on was in China.
Edge of altitude zone.
It takes a little while because it's in a totally different area to where it last acquired satellites. It's already got 12. Takeoff permitted. Pretty sure it's now check propellers, check complete. So you put both sticks inwards and down. And it still didn't start. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's way quieter. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh no, that is right, yeah. Okay, and she's up. Yeah, it's a beautiful picture, that. So I'll switch over the... I'll put... You might be able to see. Let's have a look. Might be able to see the controls a bit. So we'll switch over to camera mode. Probably go a bit higher. Oh yes, and on the back left, so my trigger finger on my left, I've got like a roller wheel, and you can adjust the tilt of the gimbal. So I'll go up a bit, snap that. So trigger finger on the right takes your photo. Strong wind warning, so it's come up there with a strong wind warning. That's okay. This thing would have plenty. I probably won't go much higher. I might go, what am I? I'm at 86 metres. Geez, that climbed very fast actually. Strong wind warning. I'll stay about there because you can't really hear it. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful picture actually. Really nice. So I've still got the odd zebra stripe, so the only way to fix that is to lower the EV value like that. So I'm at -1 at the moment.
Max altitude reached.
There you go, so max altitude reached. Geez, you can see how many people have got solar panels around here. That's crazy. Yeah. Very nice, really nice picture actually. You can see it. You can actually see the satellite. I don't know exactly what it is. Just taking a picture there. I think they steer satellites. It's literally across the road from us. Yeah, pretty cool. I actually might get a video there, so we'll swap that over. And okay, so the -1 EV that I set in photo mode is also set in video mode, so that's pretty cool. I'll do a 360. So that's taken the video. Do it nice and slow. I'll put it in cine mode, and that should be very, very, yeah. So we'll do a nice slow 360 there. You can see there's a couple sandy blocks there that no one's built on. Directly straight there, you can see the lake. It looks dry, but a little bit of water to the right. It's Lake Nangara. There's that park just down the bottom of the frame there. That's where I normally take the dogs for a walk. And then all those white roofs there is the industrial area called Wangara. It's pretty much where my office is. You can see the little pockets of trees, all the little parks everywhere. It's pretty cool. And then that's a school just coming into the centre of frame there. Might even go for a fly over there. Yeah, so that's forward. I'm still getting a strong wind warning. Okay, so I was going to say it's not very fast, and that's because I'm in cine mode. So we'll flicker over to sports mode. It was only doing 3 meters a second. So now we got it in sports mode. It's not letting me fly. That may be because of the wind. So I'll come down a bit. So I've got my card in there. I'm pretty sure it's a 128 gig card, and it's got 3 hours of storage on it. So all good.
Max altitude reached.
Okay. So it's getting pushed around. You can see it just, you can see the gimbal click over every now and again. I think we'll bring it back down. Not that I'm worried. Oh, it's really high. Yeah, okay. Let's bring it back down. So I'll just tilt the gimbal. You can see the park I'm out there. Oh, actually, you can see the little H. That's home point, so that's where I am. So, okay. There you go. There's a nice little park just here. I think I'm actually mode 2. I'm going to land. I'm feeling a little bit. Yeah. I'll just bring her in. I'm a little bit all over the place, and I've got to think about what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure that's not right. Oh, it's super windy actually. You should be able to hear the motors. Okay, I'll bring her in there. Almost hit a tree. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm pretty sure I'm mode 2 then. There you go. Landing mode. I'll just flick that over. That's easy. So we go to settings, control, stick mode, mode 1. I thought I was mode 2, but I am mode 1. Okay, so yeah, forward, that's better. Ascend, right, yep, okay. Yep. It just changes what each stick does. Because I'm used to being up that way. I think I'll just stop the recording, that's okay. So sticks down into the middle, starts the motors up. That's better, yeah, that's what I'm used to. I'll start the video. Nice. There's some nice clouds actually at the moment. Might get a bit of rain tonight, we'll see. That climbs unbelievably fast actually. That's awesome, wow. You can hear it. It's 5 meters a second it's climbing at. Pretty cool. Strong wind warning again, yeah, I think we might have to call it. Oh yeah, a couple pulls in there. I think this actually zooms too. There we go. That's pretty cool. Wonder what the quality's like. Any tiny little pulls. So he's got funny solar panels on his roof there. How they've put them in. Yeah, cool. Yeah, a lot of people got solar panels. Unbelievable. So I'm just spinning it around really fast just to see how the video keeps up with that. That's in sports mode. Put it in normal, and this is full stick over, so it's a little bit slower. And then cine mode, full stick over, and that's way slower. So pretty cool. Yeah. Ah yes, even the gimbal operates a lot slower. We'll zoom in on that. Pity there's no zoom button. You've got to pinch to zoom, or you you got to pinch to zoom. Oh, here we go. There is a button on the screen, but there's no button on the remote. So it looks like 3 times is the maximum. Yeah. It's pretty cool. You can actually see the hills in the background there. That's really cool. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see on the computer what that looks like zoomed in, the quality. I'd say you'd be losing a bit of quality, but it is a fair bit away. I'll dig it up on Google Maps, how far that is, but it's a fair whack. So I've still got 55% battery, if you can see there, which they reckon will give me another 13 minutes of flight time. So pretty cool. You can actually see a bit of a, that looks like rain over there. Yeah, that looks like rain over there. That's pretty cool. Where was that motorbike? There he is. Hopefully you can hear that through my microphone. That's pretty funny. So yeah, that's the hood. Not much more to say. It looks like a bit more rain over there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like it. I suppose if you change it to 4K 60, it's going to look better on the faster things. But most of my things I do 4K 30. Yeah, that's the city. That's pretty cool. That's a long way away. Probably about 15 k's, I'd say. I'll measure it on Google Maps and put a little screen grab up there. Anyway. We'll bring it back down. It's literally right above me at the moment. So it can go up at 5 meters a second, but it can go down as well at 5 meters a second. That's pretty good, even in this wind. It looks like it's just dropping by itself, like there's, yeah. Very nice. Yeah, and then if we get some pictures of things, so I'll stop recording and then we'll try out a few of the pictures. I'm out of practice. I've been using my Neo a lot, but that's with the motion controller. It's not with sticks. Stick wise, I'm out of practice big time. So let's see what the zoom is. Oh, zoom not supported in photo mode. Okay. Get a bit of the cloud, probably a bit too much. That's a nice photo. Yeah, it does looks like the camera's pretty good, I'd say. My drone that I just sold was a Mini 2, and then this camera is the equivalent camera, same camera that's on the Mini 4, so two generations. Let's have a look here. I won't fly it like the Mini because I know exactly what's going to happen. Let's we'll record that on video. So swap, shoot. We'll put it in cine mode. So nice and slow. And then that's pretty cool. Yeah, I need more practice. They're not hard to fly. Literally 2 batteries, I think, and you're pretty good at it. We'll come back up. Okay. Yep, I gotcha. Now I remember. It's different to an RC plane. The sticks, what they do. So if we stay still here, left stick, so I'm in mode 1, left stick forward, back. Am I recording? Oh, I'm not recording, sorry. Hang on, face this way. Okay, so left stick, forward, backwards, left, so it actually pivots left, rotates left, rotate right. Then if this stick here is obviously up, down, and then right, you just strafe right, strafe left, like that. And if you can see, yeah, that camera is rock solid. I'll see if I can do this so you can see it on the other camera. Just turn you around. You'll see how much work the gimbal's actually doing. Yep. And then we'll call it after this one. It's just a little bit too windy. But yeah, if you can see that. You can see how much the drone's moving, and you'll see the footage as well, and it barely moves. Just rock solid. And I'm pretty sure if you try and run it into a wall, that's the LiDAR will kick in and won't let it. Obviously I'll go pretty slow. Yeah, I'm full stick forward and it's actually going backwards. And it'll go, nah, you're not going there, you're not going to hit that. Try it with a tree. Yeah, same thing. I'm full stick forward at the moment and it won't let me. So very cool. Much, it's gonna land there. Whoa! There we go, that was pretty cool. Kind of took care of itself. All right, so we'll kill that video. We'll check the battery. So it says we've still got 30% battery to go. It doesn't give me a time remaining because it's landed and off, so it can't estimate anything.
Manual mode.
So if we fold this up, oh okay, must be rears first. Rear and then fronts.
Aircraft will power off in 5 seconds.
Cool.
Press any button on aircraft.
Yeah,
to
that's a good
cancel.
feature. That's a really good feature. And then it also has, I won't show you in this video, I'll probably do another video once I've tried it out myself, very similar to the Neo. So you literally turn it on and then hit that button there, and that's your flight mode button. And then here it'll come up saying, follow me, or I don't know. It's got heaps of it's got like 6 different modes, I think. I'll put a screenshot up when I find them. I think they're exactly the same as a Neo, but because it has that feature, you don't need a controller, your phone or anything. You just rip this out, press that. I think it's tripod mode, so like if I wanted to do like talk to you guys on camera, I could use this as a floating tripod and just leave it there, walk away, go do something. It'll stay there until I come back and grab it. Yeah, so pretty cool. You can also, so this, actually no you can't, because I'm using this. So the microphone I got comes with a USB thing that goes in here, so I can use this microphone that I'm using now on my phone. But yeah, just seeing that now, no, I won't be able to. So I think this actually has a microphone built into it, so it'll record your voice while this thing's flying. So pretty cool. Cuts out propeller noise, all that kind of gear. So yeah, shame it's a bit windy. It did take a long time. Like I said, I wasn't going to buy another battery because yeah, I do that with every drone. I get the Fly More combo, and then you never end up using the extra batteries. But I thought, bugger it, I might as well get one because it does take so long to charge. But this charger I'm getting actually charges, it will charge both batteries from flat to full in 60 minutes. So it'll charge two batteries at the same time. So that's a pretty good feature. So yeah, there's no way of charging 2 batteries if I bought another battery, because you'd have to you need the drone. So if I wanted to go on a bit of, like we did last weekend when we went to Bells Rapids with my mate, I can't charge and use the drone at the same time if I have 2 batteries, because I need the drone to be the charger, which doesn't make sense. That's why I was saying before, it would be really cool if they, it's really light actually, if they put a USB slot on this to charge up. But then, I mean, you wouldn't buy the hub. That's the whole point of the hub, I suppose. But yeah, is what it is. Anyway, let's go pull some footage off, and I'll get to editing this video. And yeah, I reckon pretty cool for what it is. It's got prop guards, so I'm pretty safe if you got kids. I mean, not that you're going to let a kid play with it. It's a pretty expensive toy. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think they did that because it does have these modes to land on your hand. That's all those modes are. Put your hand out and it'll come and land. So they're not going to have big, 3, 4 inch, 5 inch props, whatever they are, swinging right near your fingers. So they want to, I mean, my finger can still fit through there, so whatever, but they've tried. They've given it a shot. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.